Hi y'all. Okay, I have been putting off this video because it's too much. It's too much to process. Even just the facts and stuff. But I can't put it off anymore. I will just say what I can and say more later. So Craig, Hannah, Sarah, and I drove to Houston, spent the night at his parents' house, though they are no longer with us, and drove the next day to UT Health rheumatologist building and was put into the little clinical room and waited for Dr. Maureen Mays to come. And we were nervous and we were hopeful and anxious and anyway, she came in and she was very small, but you could tell just power packed inside her little smallness. And she was very matter of fact and pretty much got right down to business. But we were with her for about an hour and 20 minutes. And she was fantastic. I mean, she was herself. And I think herself is very caring through her knowledge. Like, you know, she wants to get at, in the best way possible, how systemic sclerosis or systemic scleroderma, whatever you want to call it, the best way for her to hit it. So she sat and asked me questions for a long time, 45 minutes or something. And then she did a physical exam, and she was just so thorough. And then she was like, well, okay, I will. She had told us a couple things to follow up on, to do, to make sure we did. And then she was like, okay, well, I'm going to see you in 3 months. And my heart just dropped to the earth because I was like, don't leave me now. Don't leave me. I don't know. Be my mama. And tell me more. I need more. I need more. And that's a long time. I'm going to be miserable. So anyway, we did say, oh, we had some questions, you know, could we ask you some questions? And so, I don't know, she spent 20 or 30 more minutes with us. And so let's see, I wrote down some notes just to try to remember even the data stuff we talked about, okay? Let's see, I have to try to let you keep seeing the beautiful sky. Okay, the great news and the happiest news for Craig, Hannah, and Sarah was that I'm not in danger of dying at this point. So she was very clear on that. And for me, it was more difficult because the other side of it is, okay, I'm not going to die, but you're telling me that I'm going to continue in this pattern for 2 to 3 years. Oh my God. So I was just like, kill me now. So we kind of had different experiences there of the good news and the bad news, but oh, I have a low battery. That's okay. I will make this work. I will go back in and get a charger or something. But let's keep going. So I'm just going to go through some of what we learned. And she said, I'm in a subgroup of people that are called early severe. And I think that I must have been hoping that because mine is early and severe, which I was pretty aware of that, that maybe its first phase would end sooner than 2 to 3 years, which I think is the norm for everybody. So isn't that just not fair? Oh, yeah, so I am still processing that, but how she tried to encourage me was that she said, my anemia is contributing to how I feel in a just huge way, even my pain tolerance. And so she said, if we can get that under control, you're gonna feel a lot better. And so she said that what she thinks that the cause of the anemia is systemic sclerosis causes your little tiny dilated blood vessels in your stomach to leak, and they ooze. And so I'm gonna get that checked out with the gastro doctor. Called him on Monday, and we're trying to get that going. And so if we can stop that, that will be the first thing. And then there's some other things that she's trying to help me with to help me get back on the main medication that is supposed to help stop the progression of the disease. I was on it, but I had to get off of it because it can cause anemia, so they had to stop it while we figured it out. So anyway, it didn't seem to be helping anyway, but she said, asked me the dosage I'd been on, and she said, oh, no, we can't stop it until I want to put you on a much higher dose, and that's, hopefully it might actually work. It might actually retard the progression of this disease. So I got to get back on that medication. So we got to get the anemia figured out. She said, as far as trials go, like being on maybe a possible medical trial and trying something new that might work better than it has, all these little old days and years. She said, I have to be on that medication for 5 to 6 months, and then I can be qualified for a study. So anyway, and I know some of you know or have wondered, are we considering a possible stem cell transplant? And we asked her about that, and she said she likes to really keep that in her back pocket as something way down the line, because it's really, really hard on the body, and there's a 3% mortality rate, which This is pretty high, you know. 3 people out of every 100. So maybe it's, you know, I would imagine it's different for people in different situations. Anyway, so that was that. So I think that's the most important things. So she said be in touch with me on the portal, and so that was hopeful. I got to let go of wanting her to be my mama. You know, Hannah, Sarah, and Craig were able to unclaw my fingers from around her ankles. Just kidding. When I heard that I could email her. But anyway, no, it helped a lot to know that we would be in touch, that things, as you know, as I'm trying different medications, and all that, I'll be in touch with her, and she may prescribe different things or different doctors to see or whatever. But because I tell you, as I've said, every day is a long day. There's a lot of joy in each day, a lot, some, for sure. So anyway, but okay, so I don't know, the emotional side of things kind of not, I don't know. It's not very much like me to not reflect. I think I just haven't had time. We've been really busy with just, it's crazy, but just the medical things every day, and just trying to get fed and trying to, is this Craig coming home? Yes. Oh, look. Wait, can you see? It's Craig. Oh, look, a reunion of truck to lady with dogs. Look how happy. Hannah's getting back from walking the dog. She's such a good person. And Craig is getting home from work. So anyway, let's see. I get a little bit depressed, I think, when I read over the notes from the thing, from our appointment, in order to do this video, and I felt down. It's just like, what is there to do to help me? But there are things. I'm going to do. I'll give Hannah. Oh shoot, I think we missed a pretty funny Hannah being dragged in by the dogs. Anyway, they didn't know they were being videoed, so I thought I shouldn't. Anyway, if I can get, I got my second iron infusion today, and I'm having great hope that I will start to feel better. I've just felt very, very draggy, and that doesn't help when you're in pain. So, hey y'all! And so, get that fixed, and then get back on Cellcept on the higher doses, and things really could change. It's not like I'll be 2 to 3 years like I have been in the last few weeks. So, or several months. Can't do it for 2 to 3 years. So anyway, there's great hope, and the spiritual part of things is really one of my greatest hopes, as you can imagine. It is the greatest hope. And also my greatest joy. And I definitely just every day, like, thinking about it with God, like, what is this path I'm on? Why? What is it? And, one night I had gotten up in pain and just got back in bed and lay there, I just lay on my back. Sorry, I'm scratching my legs so much right now, and I'm just going to go out of my mind. And it makes me distracted. Okay, so and it was interesting because I was on my back, and I just like suddenly felt God inviting me to, what was it that I thought about? All I know is I connected with him in a very meaningful way with like 2 thoughts or 2 words and I had these 2 concaves of my whole body, it felt like, into the mattress. These deep sobs. I think it was just maybe accepting my reality. I can't remember for sure. Might have been just getting to realize that he's with me. These are things that impact me at that deep level. Both of those things. But it was 2 sobs. Just these concaves. I can't just explain it. It was like of my body and of my soul. And I could have probably sobbed for a long time, but I didn't want to wake Craig. I didn't have any tissue at reach. And so, but it was important because I knew God had met me. And I knew it'd be okay. So, and then today, I wonder if you can see it without the sun radiating on it. Oh, and I can't zoom. But there in the depths of that little treed area is a tulip tree or a Japanese maple. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's on the ground. Can you see the pink flowers sort of low to the ground and then the ones up high? It's a very old tree and it's very tall and it's just full of flowers on the top. But it also has they've sprouted up. You don't really want this to happen, but it needed to happen. It's so gorgeous. It's got these little low branches and they make the tulips, are the little tulip flowers. They're all cupped upward and they're just like shoop, like offering grace. And today I was sitting out here in this chair and looking at that tree. And my legs just sometimes in the mid-afternoon, they just fire up and they decide we're gonna be all abuzz with pain, with itching, with flushes of pins and needles. And that was happening. And so I came outside because it's a beautiful day. And I thought, I went and was staring at that tree and the sun was coming through the trees in a dappled way onto that tree. And I was asking God, like, can beauty actually help me. And I'm wondering that right now as I'm scratching my leg. I'm sorry, I must be making y'all miserable. Ugh. Yeah. I have believed that beauty is one of the most important things to God. That He is beauty, He is goodness, He is truth. And these are kind of the three main, forget what they called them in kind of ancient Christendom. And supposedly the Christian church has focused a lot on goodness and truth in the last however many centuries. And, you know, emphasized over beauty, like for however, I don't know, maybe it's just been a century that we have let the importance of beauty go. Maybe it was with the Protestant Reformation. But for the last decade or so, I feel like God has been like ministering to me through beauty. And I think I talked about that some in other videos, and the wonder of a leaf is one of them. But now I wonder, can that glorious being, that majestic tulip tree, be a salve to my pain? And you know, I'm gonna be pondering on that more. But I will say that as I stood there, my pain was quieted because I was staring at it and staring at its contours and its the light in it and its colors, the variations of color. And so it made me forget about my pain for a little bit. So anyway, what do y'all think about that? What have you thought about beauty, and how have you experienced it? Have you slowed down enough to let beauty minister to your aching heart or your aching body? Yeah, I do remember talking about that in the wonder in a leaf. Anyway, I love y'all. That's kind of where I am right now. Talk to you soon. Love you all very much. If you have questions about the appointment that I didn't cover, feel free to ask, okay? I may or may not be able to answer. Alrighty, bye-bye.